Hello, and welcome to the 1977 Top Star Wars podcast. This is a podcast I have been thinking about doing for a long time now. I have been a huge fan of Star Wars since I was a little guy. I would I would check out the original New Hope movie from my library when I was a young kid, and I probably watched that thing over 100 times, if not more. And so Star Wars has been a part of my life for a very long time. And so anyways, in the past few years, I have started collecting the 1977 Top Star Wars set. It has been super fun, and I just have been thinking about starting a podcast about all the cards in the set. So the idea is to pick a card for each podcast. So in this case, we're taking a look at card number 58 of Harrison Ford as Han Solo. And in each little podcast, we'll talk about the card, any little history behind it, where it is in the movie, if it is in the movie, and then some of the pricing of the card that is currently going on. And there will be a few podcasts too where we just talk about general news about the set itself, because some of the cards, obviously, like the one behind there, are setting some crazy records right now. So just to get into it, let's take a look at a card number 58. And like I said, it is Harrison Ford as Han Solo. It is from Series 1. So Series 1 is the blue bordered cards, which are probably most famous with people. And then you can see also, too, the number is on the front of the card and not the back. And then there's a look at the back of the card itself. Has a little Star Wars movie fact on there. It just says, it's fun that the word for the movie says Star Wars. Writer-director George Lucas. He hoped to capture the honest excitement and entertainment of movies from his past, like the rousing swashbucklers and Flash Gordon type space operas. So yeah. So one little interesting little fact about this card. I picked up this book. So here is the book. It is fantastic, and it goes over all the cards. And in this book, it mentions, this photo on the card is not from any part of the movie. And so in the book, it says here, with the last 10 cards of Series 1, they decided to break the fourth wall and identify the actors who portrayed the instantly famous cast of Star Wars. So this is one of the few cards that does not actually come from the movie itself, which I thought was a pretty interesting fact. Also, there's a bunch of Han Solo cards in this set, and this one in particular is not just one of my favorites of Han Solo, but just one of my favorite cards altogether in the entire set. Just a great action shot of him. Just looks fantastic. Now, this isn't the rookie card of Han Solo, but to me, I just think it's a better looking card itself. Now, to dig into just a little bit of the population report of the card. So in PSA, there has been 1,387 of these cards graded as of the recording of this podcast. There are only 14 PSA 10s of this card. There are 69 PSA 9s, 282 PSA 8s, 315 PSA 7s, and 290 PSA 6s, and 194 PSA 5s, and then it just starts trickling down from there. So there hasn't been a ton of these cards graded, and obviously there's very few PSA 10s out there. Then just kind of what some of these cards are selling for on eBay. Some of the recent sales on eBay, there was actually an autograph, a Harrison Ford autograph, which how cool would that be, on a PSA 7 card with an auto of 9. That sold for $2,252 back in March, and it got 13 bids. A PSA 8 sold on June 12th, which is yesterday, for $400. A few more here. We have a PSA 6 that sold for $115 on June 9th. A PSA 7 sold for $240, and a PSA 5 sold for $120. And just kind of a general idea of the PSA 9s and the PSA 10s, according to Google Gemini, it says PSA 10s are generally commanding around $4,000 to $7,000, and it probably, since there's so few 10s, if one were to hit the market, I would probably expect it to even be higher than that. And then the PSA 9s are generally going for $1,500 to $3,000. So not cheap by any means. And like I said, just an awesome card of his. So that is card number 58 in the 1977 Top Star Wars set. Also, at the end of each podcast, we're gonna rank these cards and kind of create a top 10 list of all the cards in the set. So obviously, this is podcast number 1. This is card number 1 that we are reviewing. So currently now, this Harrison Ford as Han Solo card is sitting in the number 1 spot. It won't be there for long, but it could stay in the top 10. Like I said, it is a great card. Now, also to when you are looking for these cards, I've been looking for the 1977 Top Star Wars cards for quite a bit of time now, and finding them in good condition is incredibly hard. Every once in a while, when I'll buy some stuff off eBay, when I get them in, they're in okay condition. But a lot of times, the corners are rounded. There's maybe a few creases here and there. So Topps did print quite a bit of these cards, but it is hard to find any of these cards in just great condition by any means. So yeah. So this is going to be the format of this podcast. I can't tell you how excited I am to be talking about these cards. If you have enjoyed this, please share it out to your other Star Wars fans. Maybe one day down the road we can actually get some people on here who were involved in the creation of this set. That would be fantastic. And gosh, if we ever could get anyone from any of the Star Wars characters themselves, that would be mind-blowing awesome. So anyways, this is the end of our first episode of the 1977 Top Star Wars podcast. If you have any comments or any cards you'd like for me to talk about next, just let me know in the comments, and I appreciate you all, and may the Force be with you.